Maybe you're going to get a Dell Canvas, maybe you've got a Wacom Cintiq, or maybe you're using one of the alternatives. No matter what you've got or how you've got it set up, let's take a look at jazzing your studio up just a touch. This is nice, it's cheap, it's easy to set up, and it looks really cool. Stick with me, let's take a look at that right now. Okay, so behind me I've got my Wacom Cintiq, and it looks pretty cool, right? Of course it does. But we can always make that cooler. How? With this. No? That's a calculator. With this. This is a simple remote. Let me just turn the lights off. I can have it like this. A nice fade with gentle colours. Purple, blue, green, yellow, red, or just a white, which is quite nice for ambience. I find the best thing to do is actually pick a colour and stick with that colour. This works really well. I mean, I've always considered these LEDs to be a bit flashy and something that gamers tend to have rather than artists, but I just thought I'd get it and try it and see after having, you know, a conversation with somebody in this community. And these things are expensive. This cost around $10, and yeah, I just thought I'd get it and see. But while the kind of flashing is not very great, you know, definitely you can't work in that, the colours are actually kind of nice. If you have this up against a wall, then it's a lot brighter and a lot stronger, as I'll show you when I have it on the Dell Canvas. But where I have this right now, kind of in the middle of the room, it makes it a lot more subtle. So this is the red, and you barely see it. When I change to, say, the green, it's a different colour altogether. The vibrancy of that is a lot different. If I was kind of painting a jungle scene, it might be nice to turn out the lights and have this green kind of glow get me in the feel. You know, the purple, the blue, if I was doing kind of an ocean scene, might help with some kind of, you know, kind of aquatic music to get me in the vibe of it. I know it sounds cheesy, but yeah, it might kind of work in a weird way. You know, the difference between this kind of green blue and the blue blue. You can see a slight difference when I go back and forth. But hey, some of the light effects are interesting. I mean, I suppose the fade one is, you don't notice it that much as it transitions from colour to colour. But I don't know, if you were just doing emails and surfing the web, it might be fine for that. But otherwise I'd just stay for a solid colour. I don't use this all the time. It's more when I'm just doing research, finding reference images, you know, I'll just grab the remote, stick it on, and just, you know, it makes me smile. If nothing else, it just makes me smile. I mean, I'm sat here talking to you now, and you can see the colour changing, and it's not bothering me at all. You know, I'm barely noticing it. But I thought I'd grab another one of these, set this up on the Dell Canvas, and show you just how easy this is to set up. You can get these in 1 strip, 2 strip, 4 strip. Obviously they get a little more expensive the more complex they get. I get 2 strip ones just because they're the easiest to find and pretty much the cheapest. So this is what you're looking for. This is a USB mood lighting for TVs. Well, that's what this one says on it. There's a lot of different boxes out there, a lot of different brands, etc, etc. It doesn't really matter which you go for. In my opinion, I've looked around, but I found a lot of generic ones out there. I didn't know which to go for, which to trust. I bought this from Amazon, but you can buy it from eBay or wherever. I've put some links in the description to some that I found which looked trustworthy. If you have any ideas for which to go for or which to avoid, then let us know, and hopefully we can share that amongst the community, and you know, we'll all be better off for that. Huh, there's actually no brand on this. Kind of says a lot. but I've had an identical one on my Wacom for quite some time now, and it seems to work absolutely perfectly. So I think they're pretty much mostly made by the same company. So we have our remote. This is the same remote that you saw before, and it's basically just contains our on-off switch, various colors, and some modes as well, like the flashing, the strobe, etc, etc. You see these in some shops as well. These are all fairly standard LED bulb remotes. Next up we have our power box, and this is a standard power box. This connects to 2 strips, and this is the receiver, and that goes to the remote there. And it has a sticky pad on the back to stick down to the back of the TV, or in this case the drawing tablet. And it's got some instructions on there as well for what to do with it. We have 2. These are the actual LEDs with the connectors on there. And they just plug into the little box that I showed you, and they have 3M strips already there. Then this has a USB and a power plug. This one goes into your little power adapter, and then you plug this into your tablet. So that's absolutely great there. That plugs into your tablet. And that's all fairly straightforward. Let's do it. So it's at this stage when I say bring cable ties. These are also a good idea for this kind of project. These are self-adhesive cable tie mounts. I'll put links to all of this in the description anyway, but these are great because sometimes you just can't find a good place to put cable ties, and you end up putting them in the kind of places where you can see them from the front. So little sticky kind of things like this allow you to hide cable ties, you know, out of sight. The best thing to do is actually get your cables, unravel them all, and kind of lay it all out on top of your tablet, and just check that they all reach each other before you start sticking them all on, you know, and just make sure you're happy with that arrangement. The last thing you want to do is start sticking the first one down and then realize the second one or the third one doesn't reach, or it's just not in the kind of best place it could be. So just get your cables, start unraveling them all, start connecting them, and just make sure you're happy with the placement. There's really not that much to putting this together. It is just the few pieces that I've already shown you. There are these 2 connectors, and they have these little arrows, and they show you which way round they connect. There you go. And they just connect together. This piece here, that's the responder for your remote. All I have to do is plug that in, and then this end right here goes into my Dell Canvas. That will power the entire thing. And I simply peel off these 3M sticky backs, stick this to my Dell Canvas or onto my VESA mount on the Dell Canvas, wherever I want, and that's it. Once I figure out where exactly I want this, where it looks good, where it looks well hidden, my only problem is that I have to have this sensor peeking out from behind the Dell Canvas, because obviously if it's hidden behind the Dell Canvas, then the remote won't be able to find it. So this has to be kind of peeking out. If you look carefully on my Wacom, you'll see this is just peeking out as well. So yeah, that is one important thing. First things first, let's actually plug it in so I know that it can reach its power source. And I know it works. One thing I found is that these little connectors come apart quite easily, so it may be a good idea to just get some electrical tape and put some around. So now it's all in place, but really there's a lot of loose cables flying around, which isn't that great, and this is where the messy part comes in, and I really have to start using cable ties and clips to hold them down. The remote works as well. Wonder if my remote from my other one works. Yep, remote from either one works. Now you could tape some of these cables down, but tape just leaves messy, gammy marks. So I'm not sure whether that might be better or not. There are certain holes as well, so I could thread cable ties directly through those, but yeah. These are proving absolutely fantastic. The sticky backs and the holes to pass through cable ties. Awesome. And that's it. That's so nice and neat. There's loads of added stuff in there that you wouldn't have thought about. Added electrical tape, cable ties as well, and it looks really good, even at the back. But let's turn it over and just see how good this looks. That is absolutely cool. Blue, yellow, purple, green. I like the blue. Purple's quite nice too. It's a bit more calm and relaxing. I like the fact that the remote works for both. But for me, that works a treat. I think this definitely works when the Dell is nearer the wall. The Wacom is on my desk, so having that massive gap, because the desk is in the middle of the room. If my desk was right up against the wall, the light would be brighter. But because the Dell Canvas is right there, next to the wall, next to the bookshelf, that looks amazing. So hopefully you guys really like that. I know I do. Let me know in the comments below. That cost about $10. If you want to trip out your studio, I'd love to hear your thoughts, suggestions, comments. If you've already played with this, let me know all about it. I'll see you later.
Well, thanks for watching. Be sure to comment, like, and even subscribe to my channel, Lawrence Can Draw. And if you really did like what you saw here, you can see more of it on my website, lawrenceman.co.uk. I'll see you next time.